Hello, this is Scott, Franchiseinsight.net. Just a quick overview reminder. This is a solution for folks in the market who are looking to buy a franchise. We go through a structured discussion to evaluate that decision you are about to make, that big investment, that big lifestyle change you're about to make. So come check me out at franchiseinsight.net. Book a 5 to 10 minute call. Let's talk about what you're about to get into, and then from there we can make a decision if the deeper dive, which is a $300 paid session, is warranted. And from there, gang, I don't sell your data. I'm not going to come back and try to sell you a high ticket $5,000, $10,000 coaching consulting package. Again, I'm not a consultant. I'm not going to bring up new ideas and try to sell you a home services business. That is not what this is about. This is just to help shore up this decision for you, because it's life changing, both from a time perspective and a financial perspective for most folks. So with that said, circling back to a topic from last week about technology platforms and cybersecurity. So a connection of mine, his company put a post out on LinkedIn that was just eye-opening for me, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. It said that companies that experience a cyber or a security issue, 2/3 of those attacks are happening remotely. And as I read the article, so you see the post and clicked on it, great little quick 1 to 2 minute read. It just talked about all this work from home and remote workers, that organizations don't really have an opportunity to oversee what kind of security measures you have at home. So, they may have installed some software that's corporate wide, and there's a standardization with that. There may be some multi-step authentications required as you log into a server and you're remote. There's other things that can go on when you're remote. You're logging on to different Wi-Fi networks, and you're traveling, or you're at home on your own Wi-Fi network that companies don't have control of. And the reason I bring this up, and the reason it's important, is because it's not just the big companies that are getting hit with cyber issues. It's companies of all sizes, and you just need to make sure you're having a deep discussion with your franchisor as you make this decision to buy a franchise. What are they doing about it? What are their regular cadences of evaluating security threats? Who manages that? Is it third party, or is it somebody internal? And if it's somebody internal, is it somebody that's writing code that is maybe part of a platform that's used internally with the franchise that maybe is not totally skilled on cyber? I think it's worth finding out. But it was very eye-opening that so many of the threats and so many of the issues are coming because of the remote work. And not that remote work's bad, it's just something to be aware of. So the next part today, gang, is not about cyber or any of the security things. It's kind of going down a little tangent here about TikTok. So TikTok is all over the news. One of the bigger concerns that I hear, and there's multiple, but one of the bigger concerns I hear is about mental health issues with teenage and pre-teenage girls and the content that they are being served through the different established algorithms by those who control TikTok, and needs to be dealt with. And apparently it's being looked at. So I bring up TikTok because, if you're looking at a concept that relies on TikTok for marketing and heavily relies on it, then you may want to make sure they have a plan B. And part of it is just the disruptive nature of technology in general. So I'm not banging on TikTok. I think something needs to be, personally, I think it needs to be dealt with. Obviously there's data issues and foreign ownership, etc. So there's a lot of concerns, but the bigger picture here is that technology is disruptive, and it can be disruptive both positively and negatively in that it's always changing. So just be cautious. That's a good question to ask somebody as you look at a concept. You're probably able to already go out and see where they're doing their marketing. Doing a lot of it on Facebook. Are they showing a lot of ads? Are they, they're on TV maybe, depending on the brand. But I would consider that a good question to go back and ask. What involvement is or reliance is there on TikTok for marketing and launching this brand? Because I have seen people use TikTok effectively. You can get users and followers. I shouldn't say user. You can get followers very quickly if you can put out fun, creative content. So in launching a business, I've seen people, like young realtors starting out where I live have used it and quickly can start getting some speed and some recognition for what they're out there doing. So that's a little bit about TikTok. Now the other part about TikTok is just a story that I'll tell you. News story I saw. A Loyola professor. He or she. Didn't even get into who the person is, but the professor, I guess, came across a bunch of and I'm not out on TikTok, so you can look at me and tell I'm probably not a TikTok guy. Went out, saw a bunch of content on TikTok with people organizing their pantries. And I guess because an organized pantry looks a little bit like maybe a 50s household, because that was kind of thrown in the mix, maybe that tie-in of the housewife of the 50s, determined that an organized pantry is both sexist and racist. So again, I don't know what I went into the research. I read the article, and at a high level, I start reading a little deeper, and it didn't really talk about, well, how did you get to that solution? But anyway, here's some thoughts. Maybe it was considered, maybe not. There are people out there that have businesses in home organizing. So they do garages, they do closets, and they probably do pantries. Not probably, they do pantries as well. So maybe these are people who as a business organize their pantries. Maybe these are people that are just OCD and love to be organized, and they're proud of it, and good for them, and they're showing it off. And then there's just people that have a lot of time on their hand, and this is just something they saw other people do, and now they want to go organize their pantries. And then there's people like me. My pantry's organized because when I want a tuna fish sandwich, I want to know that it's second shelf down, it's on the right. And that way I can quickly make a tuna fish sandwich. So sometimes not everything's sexist and racist, gang. Sometimes it's just you want to know where to go find the tuna fish. So come check me out at franchiseinsight.net. Let's talk about your decision to buy a small business or franchise. I hope you guys are having a great day, and thanks for hanging out with me.